Right guys, a bit of a strange intro to the video, but that helicopter is the Southwest Air Ambulance, and as you probably know, it's the charity that I sell the plants and the plugs and the microgreens for. I would say nice to see them, but no, it's not nice to see them. Just down the road there is a sports field, and watching it, it landed over there, so someone was obviously injured. And I'll tell you what, from hearing it, seeing it land, well, hearing it come in, to hearing it taken off and going, 5 minutes. So whoever was hurt, safely on their way. And a lot of that is thanks to you guys for, you know, buying those plants and me chipping the money in for you. So, well, let's get on with it, eh? Bit of a mishmash, really. All bits and pieces that I've been doing, you know, either side of the show, really. Haven't had time to film anything properly for a while now. So I think we better get on with it, eh? Right, you may recall that in several videos I've mentioned that the sun has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the ripening of the tomato. Now this is also true with black tomatoes, but where the sun has hit the tomato, the anthocyanin is showing, so it's going black or purple. Where the sun's not showing, it's green. So if you want a green black tomato to go black, let it have a bit of sun. Now this isn't ripening, this is just changing the skin colour. It will still ripen without the sun, but it will stay greenish. Same with this one. See, obviously he's had a bit more sun. This one's had most of the sun. Now, another interesting fact with black tomatoes, acidic soil changes the tomato black or blacker. If you've got slightly alkali tomato, it will stay a reddish colour, or red, black red, is that a colour? Deep red. Maroon, yeah. It won't be quite as red. It certainly won't be that red, but it'll be redder than black. So acidic, black, alkali, reddish. There you are. Today's interesting fact about tomatoes. So if I wanted these, I'm not going to put these in a show obviously, but if I wanted them for the show, what I would do, slug damage, what I would do now is leave them like this so the sun can catch them. It's not ripening them, like I said. All it's doing is changing the skin colour. Okay then, so here's the same 3 tomatoes. I brought them home. Left them in the veggie pot out the front garden, facing the sun. Turned them upside down. And, well, that was, I was working out 4 days ago. 5 days ago. And they have all turned black. Well, just about. And that one's a rotten one anyway. But, yeah. So it's still not ripe. It's still hard. You know, but I'm just showing you that the skin colour has changed. Maybe I should have left one on the allotment and not brought it home. Alright, guys. Just passing a bit of time now, waiting for the... go back down to the show. So I'm doing a couple of these runner beans. Have you ever used one of these tools before? They were all right, but as long as you've got smallish runner beans, if you've got anything of a decent size, they don't fit through. They're all right, I suppose, but it takes off the 2 strings off the outside, look. So yeah, I'll do a couple anyway. So this is the worst bit. You get a little blade there to cut the ends off, but again, if it's too thick, it doesn't come off. Anyway, it's all right. It's I think it was £2.70 or something on Amazon. You know, I just thought I'd try one. I normally do them. What do you call it? You know, trapezium shape. But I think they'll freeze better like this. I'm quite impressed with it, actually. Not sure it was any quicker than doing it by hand, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'll find some more thin ones now. They're all too thick, let's see. When you get them like this and the beans are quite big inside, it's a little bit difficult to do. Oh, that's too bad, that one. I tell you, I've got all different varieties here. I don't know what sort they are. I got rondas, I got giants, I got enormas. I ain't got any white podded ones. Oh, there's a thin one I'll do. Oh, that's a bit manky. Anyway, how should I get on with these? Give me something to do while I'm waiting for the show, you know what I mean? Oh. Cool. And that's the trick, start at the fat end. There we are, so I'm learning. And it peels off the outside bits. Yeah, yeah, that'll do right. Right. Okay, then let me show you what I mean about powdery mildew and how it is almost vanity. You know, it does nothing, doesn't do much harm to the plant, if any. Now look here, you can see powdery mildew all on these leaves here. But when you get into it, there's the stem growing out the ground now. These are all the very, very, very old leaves. The first leaves that were formed, in fact. There's the new leaves. Nothing. So I'm going to take the old ones off and the new ones will be okay. And there we are. Squash plants had a haircut. Yeah, I think I might get some of those for the show actually, yes. More about powdery mildew in Spill the Beans at the very end. Okay guys, another first for me. Harvesting the carrots out of the big barrel for the show, you know. In general, nice looking carrots. Okay, this one's been out side of slugs at it. But yeah, so they're all, you know, nice carrots. But two of them got black lines on them, like that, a big black line. So, well, I've not seen it before, never seen it before. So a quick Google, get on that internet. And it turns out it's scab. The same scab that affects potatoes. And a quick, because I've never heard of it, I had to write it down, so here we are. It's a fungus pathogen, host is carrots, horizontal, blackened, corky lesions on the root surface, which can be either raised or sunken. Now, this one's raised, and this one's sunken to the extent it's like a waistband, like a rubber band's been round it and squashed it. I'll zoom in on that in a second anyway. These can arise in viruses where the lateral roots develop or where the roots are punctured. There are no visible signs on the plant leaves. Can also be a problem with other root crops such as potatoes, sweet, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, hot, dry summers cause it. It doesn't adversely affect the crop, but it does make them unmarketable, well, you know. So yeah, I've never seen that before. Let me zoom in on you, I'll show you it. They look not nice looking, are they? So that's the raised one. Big lump sticking out there. And here's the sunken one. Yeah, I mean, it's hardly worth... Yes, I can eat the top of it, to be stupid, Steve, of course you can. But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Another first for Digwell. I wonder what it's like inside. Nice, it didn't go through the carrot, look, it's just on the skin. Okay. Okay, a little bit of a spill the beans about powdery mildew. I used to be quite obsessed with powdery mildew, thinking it was going to, the end of the world, you know. But some old bloke up the plot, my old plot, he said to me, don't worry about it. All it does is kill the older leaves. So some time back I Googled it and I can't remember where I found the answer, and he was right. So I've gone on the internet again and I Googled, you know, like powdery mildew, old leaves or something. And straight away, two websites. One says it affects old leaves, one says it affects young leaves. The one that says it affects young leaves is a website full of banner adverts and flash things at the bottom for Tesco supermarket and Tesla cars, all the things I've been browsing, you know. And the other one at the bottom, Utah University. I think I tend to believe the university, you know what I mean? And as you'll see from the still I put up, the university one says it affects older leaves. It can affect younger leaves, but usually that is when they are so bunched together that there's no airflow and the mildew will go in everything. And like the geezer at the allotment said, you'll still get your 20 odd courgettes off your plant, whether you treat it or not. So just cut the old leaves off, and that is exactly what I do now. So here's the image of my search, and it was for powdery mildew and old leaves. Top one was from Savvy Gardening, and the one at the bottom there is from the Utah State University. Utah State, Utah State. The top one, along with many others, says it affects young growth, and the Utah State University banner says that the older foliage is more susceptible. Oh, yeah, and that's what I tend to believe, and it seems to work for me. When I did spray against it, I used bicarbonate of soda, very dilute milk, something like 10 or 20 to 1, but my word does that stink. Do that on the allotment, don't do it near your front door like I did. And SP Plant Invigorator. And just to the side, I've put a bit of information on how the younger leaves are better for the plant than the older leaves. Hope this has been useful, guys. Okay, one last thing with powdery mildew, with me rattling on. Don't forget that some cucurbits have leaves that are naturally white or even variegated. I mean, this one goes to yellow, look. So don't panic when you see that. That is not mildew. One year when I was actually treating for mildew, I spent ages trying to get rid of this. And then I sort of Googled the variety and, oh, yeah, it's supposed to be like that. Live and learn. We all make mistakes, don't we? I honestly don't know how some people are supposed to get ahead in gardening when websites are all over the place. I've said it before, and if you want advice, go to a professional site. The ones with all these adverts down the side, you just know as soon as you see them, they're in it for the money. They haven't got a clue what they're writing. Sometimes it's right, don't get me wrong, but you know. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Look after yourselves, take care, and I'll catch you on the next video.